All right, let's take a look at the program and tell me, especially for the exams. Do you see any problem with our program so far? Does this is okay if you have only one exam, one students, one set of exams. What if you have many students and everybody has different values for the exam? Do we have to change the program every time? What should we do? We need to provide a way, a mechanism for the student, for the users to enter those values, right or not? Yes. So how do we do this? Let's create another button. And then change the names. Exam result. Well, let's call it exams results or exams result. What does this button do? What we're going to do, we want to provide a way where the students, somebody can enter up to 5 exams. Now, again, this is not the way I want to do it because this might be the first step. The next step, I'll show you how we do. We only have you can add as many exams as you want. But the first time, we can say limited number. We say we can enter up to 5 exams only. All right. So how do we do this? Let's change our form and move this down a little bit and add few input boxes. Let's put the toolbar. We add the labels here. So I'm gonna put 1 and a text box. Here. All right. So this label is going to say exam 1. Cancel. We're going to call it LBL. No, the label is not important. The name is not important. Label. I don't know, what was it? The text is going to say exam 1. And the text box is going to be TXT exam 1. Okay. All right. Here, let's just change the fonts here a little bit, make it bigger so you can see it. We have up to 5 exams, so I'm going to copy these 2 and Control V, Control V, Control V. Do you want to do only 4? It looks better, but and then Control V. I keep double clicking here. All right. And instead of exam 1, here what are we going to do? Exam 2. And this is exam 3. Let me keep this up here so we can easily change it. Oh, we want to do the label. Exam 3. And then exam 4. And then this is exam 5 for the label. Okay. All right. Got it? What else do we have to do? This was TXT exam 1, so I'm fine. Now this one is what? TXT exam 2. And this is TXT exam 3. I'm going to copy it, so paste it. And this is TXT exam 4. And this is TXT exam 5. Let's make sure that this is has the same name. Exam 1. One way, there's something called tab index about your form. What is a tab index? Tab index, for example, when you click on the tab, it'll take you from one field to the next field that you want to go to, next field. For example, if I want to start here and I click on tab, it would take me to the next one. You click on tab, it takes me to the next one. You click on tab, it takes me to the next one. You click on tab, it takes me to the next one. You got the idea? So how do we do this? We do this by, one of the property here is called tab index. Do you see that? So if you want this to be the first one, let's say make it 0. The next one will make it 2. The next one will be 3. The next one will be 4, tab index 4. And the next one will be tab index 5. Okay? And I'm not sure about this tab index. What's the tab index for this? They make it something bigger, okay, because it's 0 right now. Make it 20. And this one, 21, because they don't have the same tab index. And this is 23. Okay? So let's run it, see what happens. Now, if you run it, watch what happens. When I click on tab, oh, it took me to the next one. This must be the second. We want to change the tab index of this. But you see, it should take me to the right order. But this is a problem with this one. The tab index of this, let's make it 30. Okay? Tab index right now is 1, so I'll make it 30. Watch what's going to happen. So I can say this. When I click on tab, see, it went to the right one. You got the idea? That's what the tab index for. Because a lot of the times when you're working with, you have a lot of entries, you don't want to be using your mouse all the time. You just use the keyboard. Tab, enter, tab, enter. All right? Okay, now we want to do the coding. Now, if I double click on this, what are we going to do? In the past, in the previous examples, what we've done, we define an array. How do we define an array? Let's take the exams, for example. How did we define an array? We defined an array using this, int exams, and then we give it values, right? So I'm not going to get the values from inside the program. I want to get the value when the user enter them. So it's up to the user how they enter the values. So how am I going to do that? I'm going to copy this, and let's go down here. In here, I can say Control V. But instead of this, all of this, what do? I say new, int, and now I can say how many elements I want. So what does this do? What is this doing for us? This saying, oh, you want to define an array, but you did not put any values in it. All it's doing right now, it is just taking allocating the memory. You did not put any values in it. Where does the value of the array comes from? From the form. Whatever I enter here should go into the array, right? So how do I do that? First, we have to do the same thing we used to do before. This has to be what? Has to be converted into numbers. And then have to be input into the array, the proper place of the array. Right? So how do we do that? We can say exams. What is the exam? No. Exam, what is the array is called what? Exams. But now I want to put the first element, the exam1 into the first element of the array. What is the first element of the array? No, what is the first element in the array usually? Is it 1, 2, 3, 0? So I have to say 0 equal to what? Txt exams dot what? Dot text. Right? This would give me the text, but I'm going to this, if we do it this way, it will be a problem, right? So what do we have to do? We have to convert it to a number. If I convert it to, how do I convert it to a number? We use the command convert to int 32 or 64, and then we say like that. You got the idea? So this is traditionally how we do it, but again, this is a primitive way of doing it, but that's fine. For this level, it's fine. So I'm taking the array, I'm taking whatever the user entered, converting it and storing it, exam1, storing it in where? The first element of the array. Then what do? I do the same thing for the second one. So I do control copy, and then control V. Here what do? Exam1. But instead of this, what would be here? 2. You got the idea? And then I repeat the same thing. Okay, so now this should say exam 2, exam 3, exam 4. And then here it say exam txt exam 3, exam 4, and then exam 5. All right. The code we've done before, can we use it now or not? Yes. It's the same thing. The only difference now, the values, instead of putting these values here, instead of taking these values from here, now the values, we've done that part. Where is these values coming from? Coming from where? From the user. Now, can I use the average that I've done before, putting it in the array, in the list box and all of that? We can, because everything, this step is already done. The one putting the values in the array is already done. So all I have to do now, I go back in here, this code that we've used before, I can do control copy, control V in here. Okay, we have few variables that we need to define. What are they? The total and the average, right? So I can define them here again, or I can copy them from above. Okay, let's copy them from above faster. So I can do this, control copy, and then we do here control V. All right, but which one is more useful? This is more useful than the other one. Why? Because it's what? This one allow me to change the values any time I want to. Not the same values every time. So now if I run it, watch what's going to happen. If I enter 90, 90, all of them are 90. What do you expect to be the average? If all of them are 90, what would be the average? 90, because it will be 90. So if I do exam result, 90, 90, 90, and then the average is 90. But now if I change one, let's say I want to see if I don't want to take I don't want to take my last exam. Or if I failed my last exam, I decided I'm content with an average of 70 or 80. So what do? I didn't take the last exam. I enter 0 and I say exam result. Here is the result, but the last one is what? 0. But still the average is 72. I still pass, even if I got 0 on the last exam. Okay, I don't like 72. I want to get a B. So how much do I score on the last exam to get a B? Let's say I did 50 only on the last exam. I flunked it, but do I still get a B or not? I still get a B. All right? So which one is better? This is of course more useful than the other one. The other one, the values of the exams are fixed. But here it will be what? You have the ability to change them. Yeah.
If I put in the last exam 5, I didn't put anything, what will happen?
If you don't put anything, just blank, it will error out because of this. This expects you to enter a value. To trap the errors, you will have to do some checking. Okay. Usually there are some validation. I didn't teach you validation because we haven't done that. Okay. But usually before you do any conversion, you check that they enter a value or not. If they enter a value, is it numeric or not numeric? All right. Or there's something called exception. Like if there's an error, instead of the program crashing, you can say, oh, you have a problem. Fix the problem in your form. All right. So, but we didn't do that. It's not part of the scope, but you can do that. Okay. Is that clear? All right. So this last part that we've done, this part here, most likely will be, you'll have to do something similar on your exams. Okay. So you need to understand it. So in today's lectures, we covered the basics of the array, the different ways to do arrays, and how we do some calculations, how we visit the values of the array, and how we present them in the list. All right? If we want to clear the list, the last thing we want to do, if we want to clear the list, what do we do in here? We add a button. What is that button to do? Control V. For example, we do clear, so it's all finished. Instead of that, what do we put? We say clear. In the clear, what do? We clear everything. txt exam1.text equal to what? Equal to blank. And then copy this 5 times. Control V, Control V, Control V, Control V. And then instead of exam 1, what do we put here? 2. Yeah, the average 2. 2, 3, 4, 5, and then what? The label and the list box. LBL average dot text equal what? Equal blank, and then LBL or LST result dot items dot clear. All right. So that's how you clear everything in the form. Now, if you run it, if you do anything here, it will clear it. Okay. It'll error out because I clicked on the button. If we add list exams, list numbers, list this, you could do. I'm clicking on the wrong button. This is why you need validation. Okay, list names, clear. All right. This is that list button at the end. List info, the clear button. All right, we're done for the day. All right. Well, make sure you watch these videos before next week for your exam. Okay.